Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is one of the first sessions in the series for a healthy and happy mind. And let us welcome our guest for the show today, Gautam Khandelwal. He's from PRM 26, which is 2005-2007 batch. Hi, Gautam.
Hi, Richie.
Okay. Gautam is a practicing chartered accountant, and he also is the founder of an organization called Center for Health and Education Reform, where he was working with children and women in the rural areas to bring about health and education improvements. And he is a great fan of naturopathy. Gautam is a practicing naturopath for more than 20 years, right, Gautam?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he has been living a medicine-free life for 20 years plus. Can you even imagine that you've not had a medicine, even a tablet of medicine for the past 20 years? It's so amazing. And I'm sure, Gautam, you have a great immune system, because otherwise we all fall sick every season, I believe.
Yeah, I guess so.
Awesome.
Not that I don't fall sick, but yeah, meaning I recover very soon.
Okay.
It takes me about a day to recover from things.
My God, with medicines, I take about 2 weeks. So this is amazing, wonderful. And how does it feel, Gautam? I mean, what motivated you to move to a medicine-free life, and what was the inclination going to naturopathy?
First of all, I would say, Richie, it's a very empowering feeling. Meaning I don't need any doctor as such to seek help for my health issues. Right. So I feel very independent and I feel very happy. And yeah, what motivated me was, I think about more than 20 years back, I had this severe case of piles and I was in deep pain and, deep trouble. And I was, used to live in Kolkata in those days. And so, I flew back home, which is Jaipur. And, so my mom said that my Nana used to run a naturopath hospital here in Jaipur. And my mom said that, she said, I'll take you to Nana's place. There is a homeopath doctor over there. And let us, seek her advice on this. So when we went there, we bumped into Nana, and my Nana said that, you leave this guy here for 7 days, and I will get him up and running within 7 days. Now, by God's grace, this is where I met my guru, right? And my guru influenced me so much. He impressed me so much within those 7 days. And, thereafter, of course, I've been in constant touch with him. And he is the one who has really influenced my journey, of nature and, not just nature cure, but everything to do with nature. Right. So ever since then, and, thanks to Guruji, I now know exactly what I need to do for any disease, be it COVID or be it like a pain in my back or a pain in my ankles or teeth, dental problems, meaning I do my own treatment now. I don't like going to doctors. My family and parents often get angry with me and they keep pushing me to go seek advice from doctors. But yeah, I don't do that. So yeah, meaning it's a very empowering feeling, I must say so.
Okay, great. So Gautam, modern medicine is based more on the treatment method, which is like if you kind of conceive a disease and you're not feeling well, then you take the medicine and you basically fix the issues that you're having. But, to live a happy and healthy life, we need to remain healthy on a regular basis so that either we improve our immunity or we have a strong system so that we don't fall sick that often. So what do you think? What are the mechanisms to live a healthy and happy life?
Okay, so, this is my perception, is that most people think that what is essential to lead a healthy life is exercise, right? Whereas what I feel, meaning no disease comes from within. Disease will enter your body only if your body provides a suitable environment for that bacteria or that virus to thrive in your body. Right? Okay. Now, what we take in from the outside world is the air and the food, and of course, the water and so on. Right? So, in my opinion, what is most important is the food that we take in. We can't do much about the air and the water that we take in. Right? But surely there is a lot of choice that we can exercise regarding the food that we consume. Right? And I have come to believe that most diseases happen because we either take the wrong kind of food, or we take food in the wrong quantities, or we take food at the wrong time. Right? If we fix that, meaning of course exercise helps. I'm not denying that. Right? But even more important than the exercise is the food. Right? So personally, I lay a lot of importance on the food that I take. Yeah. So I feel like that is the thing that we need to monitor.
Okay. So what exactly then, what do you mean by naturopathy? I think I want to begin there. What is it?
Okay. So naturopathy is about treating yourself using mitti, hawa, and basically the 5 elements.
Oh.
Right. So all our treatment is done, using water, using mitti, using the sun, using the akash or the ether, right? So fasting is meaning for me, fasting is the cure to everything.
Oh.
Right? The moment I fall sick, I fast. Okay. Now, fasting is one way how you can absorb the ether element into the body. Right. So basically, naturopathy is about using the 5 elements to cure the body.
So, are you trying to say that the mechanisms that our forefathers used to follow, fasting, this food in this season, avoiding certain foods in certain seasons, all that is a part of naturopathy?
Yeah, it is. Absolutely.
Wow, that's pretty satisfying to know, because these days we kind of are more inclined towards the Western ways of living rather than our own traditional ways, which gives us a little more satisfaction. I believe that I am hip, I am stylish, I am more westernized. Maybe that culture.
Richie, just to give you a small anecdote,
Yeah.
my mom often tells me that when she was a child, her grandfather used to always tell her that go and get the cheapest vegetable that you can in the sabzi mandi.
Ah.
And the logic behind that statement was get something, number one, that's local, and 2, buy those vegetables that are seasonal. Right? So if you follow this small little mantra, I think you are very good too.
It looks like that following your principles of naturopathy, I wouldn't need too much of a money to survive. I'll be happy with what
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. Yeah, in fact, that's how I lead my life, So it's like mango is 80 kgs, but bail is 40 kgs for me. Dude, why should I have mangoes? I feel that I can live a very happy life with very little money.
Right.
Meaning Washington apples cost me 150 to 200 rupees a kg. For God's sake, why should I?
Right.
Almonds are thought to be a very good thing. Okay, yeah. But for me, something that cost me like 1,000 rupees a kg, God, man, no, I don't want that. Yeah, I think peanuts are as good as almonds, right? And in fact, like 50 years back, when a lot of us weren't as wealthy, who had the money, to have almonds? Right? At that point in time, we used to have peanuts, and peanuts were as good.
Yeah, right.
And, in fact, another thing that we follow in practice in naturopathy is you should eat food that is grown within a radius of 25 kilometers. Right? So as long as you practice that, I think you're good.
Wonderful. Okay. So tell me, I mean, all this talk about naturopathy and being able to cure ourselves. I understand if I have a cough and cold, you may want to give me some jadi booty and maybe, I can fix myself. But what about some chronic ailments, something which I've been, let's say, tolerating for years? Does that also find space with naturopathy?
I can assure you it is very easy to cure most of these chronic ailments.
Okay.
In naturopathy, we say that it is possible to cure all diseases, but not necessarily all patients.
Okay.
So just to clarify that statement, if for example, I'll give you my own example, right? I've had dental issues ever since I was 6 years old, right? And I think about 10, 15 years back, my dentist asked me to have 2 teeth extracted. Why? She said they were very weak. Today, I find that logic absurd. Okay. As a doctor, my role should be to rejuvenate the body.
Right.
Okay. Rather than, bloody extract things and put knuckly things in its place. Okay. Now, because those teeth have been extracted and the nerve connection, in that area has been removed, now naturopathy cannot help you to get those teeth back. As long as the nerve connection is maintained, naturopathy can very well rejuvenate the body. So something like diabetes can be cured within 15 days.
Wow.
Yeah. I've actually cured a patient, meaning I told him, I said, look, if you do 100% of what I'm asking you to do, you'll be fine within 15 to 20 days. If you're not willing to do all of it, possibly maybe 2 months or 3 months.
Wow.
Right? So his sugar levels were around 250 to 300. Within, say, about 30 to 45 days, his sugar had come down to 100. Yeah. So I've also cured an asthma patient. She had been on drugs for more than 20 years. In fact, she was my first patient. Within, I think, about 6 to 8 months, she was fine.
So I got to know that you are studying naturopathy now, and you will very soon become a certified naturopath doctor. Is that correct?
Yeah. Like I told you, I find naturopathy very empowering. Okay. And I feel so bad that so many people are struggling with their health for absolutely no rhyme or reason. Right? And meaning I fail to understand why would anybody be on drugs for like 20 years, for God's sake, man, when it's so easy to cure all of this. Yeah.
Just lack of knowledge and lack of faith also, I believe, because if you go and tell people that I can cure you with, some natural stuff which you can find in your kitchen, I don't think half of them would even believe us when we say something like that.
Absolutely. And Richie, like when I came down with COVID, which was, of course, in the first wave, when people were really panicking, okay, I was like, dude, let me see if my body can cure this. Okay. And I remember like people were really panicking and they were like, wow, you've come down with COVID, you need to take steroids. And I was like, steroids? For God's sake, man, forget steroids. I will not even take a paracetamol. Okay. And so, to pacify my family, I did, ask them to get medicines for me. But because nobody was so audacious to walk into my room, I never took those medicines. I was absolutely fine in no time. Okay. By the 6th day, I was back to doing yoga and pranayama.
Wow. Yeah. This is amazing.
So, meaning this body is a very powerful machine. My guru, he often tells me that there is a doctor sitting inside our body. a doctor that we call our immune system.
Right.
Okay. All we need to do is let that doctor perform its duty. Okay. If you put in steroids and you put in all nonsense into your body, of course your immune system is not going to work.
Correct.
Right? What does fasting do? What all that fasting does is it strengthens the immune system. Yeah. So it's as simple as that. Meaning, I often tell people that human beings don't like simplicity. Okay. So for example, I also teach children. Okay. And they keep telling me, he says, oh, this is so simple. And I said, look, the fault lies with me. Only if I had complicated things would you guys have thought, wow, man, this guy is like a real expert in this subject.
Correct.
That is the problem. We don't want to simplify things. Otherwise, who will think that I'm an expert? If people realize that, things are as simple as that, who will pay me the millions that I want?
Right.
So we have to complicate things. Okay.
So, do you like treat people as in, if somebody wants to take regular sessions with you, would you be gracious enough or kind enough? Maybe, if you're doing it professionally, yes, a fees would be associated, but do you treat people?
Oh yeah, I am working with a lot of patients. So I cured a lady who had, as I told you, was down with asthma for 20 years.
Right.
I've cured a diabetic patient. I've cured my dad who had diabetes. So my dad is also a Parkinson's patient. So I'm also working with him on his Parkinson's. And I'm very happy that despite all the bad habits that my dad has, he wants his biscuit and he wants his namkeen and the moment my mom will go for a shower, he will quickly rush and grab all the nonsense that he can. So despite all of that, I'm very happy that we've been able to reverse his Parkinson's to quite an extent.
Oh.
Yeah. I have just begun to work with a girl who has tuberculosis. Okay.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and she's got multi-drug resistant TB. She's been on TB drugs for about 2 years now. So I've just started to work with her.
Wow. I mean, this is amazing. Those kind of, high-end diseases which we feel that it's probably non-curable and you just need to kind of submit to it and succumb to it. Maybe I think if even the thought is there that we can attempt to cure it, I think that itself is a big thing, big achievement.
Richie, with due respect to our allopathic doctors, I think all of this can be cured very easily, right? So I'll give you one more example. So a friend of mine who was an allopathic doctor, he had come home and my mom told him, that I have this problem in my feet and, I have this tingling sensation and so on. Yeah. And he said, you know what, auntie, you have varicose veins and you need to wear these socks and you need to wear that. And if it doesn't work out, we'll have to operate upon you and so on. Yeah. My mom is doing perfect now. Yeah. It is so easy to cure all of this.
Yeah. And coming back to that biscuit and namkeen topic that you touched upon, do I need to follow a specific regime when I'm onto naturopathy? I mean, what should I eat? What should I skip? What should I stop completely? What is it that you recommend if I want to remain happy and healthy? Not to mention if I want to lose a little bit of weight too.
Okay. So first thing, Richie, what I would want to tell you, okay, is never develop a guilt conscious about whatever you're doing, right? Yes, I have eaten a biscuit or I've eaten 5 biscuits. Yes, I've had 2 bars of chocolate.
Okay.
Yeah. Sure enough, I shouldn't be doing that.
Okay.
Okay. But if I have done that, then I would make a bad situation worse by delving upon all of that.
Okay.
Okay. So number one, we don't need to feel bad about anything. Okay.
You're saying that I can eat as much as I want.
No, I'm not saying that.
All right.
All I'm saying is, we all have our bad habits, right? We all, want to indulge in, yeah. So, which is surely not the right thing to do.
Right.
But if we've done that, we don't need to feel bad about it.
Okay.
Our brain is a very powerful tool. Okay. We should surely never generate negative thoughts in our brain. Okay. So, so when I work with people, okay, the first thing that I tell them is every morning you have to say to yourself that I am a healthy being. And not say it in the future tense, but say that in the present tense. Not say I will be healthy, but say I am a healthy being. I am a happy person. Right? Okay. So first thing is we don't need to feel bad about anything.
You are sounding like BK Shivani. I mean, where is your ashram?
Yeah. I mean, to me, that's the most important thing. Okay.
So I believe you would eventually want to start a nature cure hospital or whatever you may want to call it. Do you have plans to do that?
Richie, I'm not very sure if I would want to set up my own nature cure hospital. Okay. But I would surely want to work upon setting up hundreds of hospitals. I'm not sure if I would want to run one hospital, but surely, and especially in rural areas, I am very passionate about working in rural areas. Okay. And meaning, think about it, naturopathy is a healthcare model that is extremely well suited towards rural areas. Okay. It's a near zero cost model. So just to give you an example, when I was working in the village, there was one lady who had been stung by a scorpion. Okay. And this was 6 a.m. in the morning. Okay. And so she went to the nearest PHC, which was closed. She went to another hospital, but the doctor wasn't available. And she finally, told her son that you take me back home. Okay. So around noon, which is 6 hours after the scorpion had stung her, I got to know about this. Okay. So I went to her house, and all that I did was applied some mitti on her arms. Okay. Within half an hour, she said that I am perfect, just that where the scorpion had stung me, I feel some slight little pain over there. Okay. So, and imagine, meaning mitti, it's free of cost, in abundance in rural areas. Okay.
I am a little, I don't know if I would want to do that and take so much risk. I mean, does it really work?
So for example, when I got COVID, I was like, dude, can I cure this without medicines? Let me try it out. Okay. Every time I've had that question, does nature work? Okay. And every time I've come out a winner.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah. Nature works 100%. Okay.
Wonderful.
But of course, if you say, dude, I want to have my biscuits, and I want to have my namkeen, and I want to have my ice creams, yeah, surely nature will not work. Okay. Nature works 100%, but it surely demands a certain price in terms of a healthy lifestyle and healthy food.
So is there a way to get away from addiction? Because, biscuits, I love biscuits, and namkeens too, and sweets too, and desserts too. And I know that all of that, only makes me fat. It doesn't add any value to my body. So what is the way out? What should I do?
Okay. So Richie, let me tell you, when I was at Irma, okay, after a very heavy dinner, I used to have one full packet of Bourbon biscuits.
I was going to ask you because you are visibly much thinner. You've lost a lot of weight.
Exactly.
Ah.
Yeah. And I too was addicted to all of these things. Okay. Yeah.
Was.
But today, the very sight of a biscuit detests me.
Wow.
Okay. Meaning I don't want it.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. Once in maybe a couple of months or once in 6 months, I do feel like having a biscuit and I was like, dude, why not, man? Let me go ahead and do it. Yeah. But believe me, one bite into that biscuit, and I was like, no, man, dude, I don't like it. Okay. Now, three things have really helped me overcome this. And believe me, I was really addicted to it. Meaning, imagine on a full stomach having one full packet of bourbon biscuits.
Okay.
Right? First thing that's helped me out is regular yoga. Regular yoga and pranayama. Okay. So yoga and pranayama not just help you physically, they also have a very good impact on your mind. Okay. You will see, the day you perform yoga and pranayama, you will not crave for food. Okay. You will only eat when you feel hungry. Right? In fact, you will eat much less as compared to the day when you don't do yoga and pranayama. Okay, that's number one. Number two, what has helped me is vipassana. Okay. Okay. Vipassana is meaning it. I have a completely different frame of mind the day I do vipassana. Okay. Yeah. I feel I'm much more in control of myself, much more focused. So that's helped me. And third thing, which is very important, is awareness. Okay, which of course also comes from yoga, pranayama, and vipassana. Okay, yeah, you need to be aware about what you're doing. Okay, sure enough, go and have your biscuits, go and have your ice cream. Okay, but do it with the awareness that this is not the best thing for you. Okay, yeah, so awareness has really helped me. Yeah, not that I don't eat my ice cream or not that I don't have my mithai and so on, but whenever I do it, I accept the fact that look, this is going to harm me. Okay, but at the same time, don't create kabaddi here. Okay, eat it, fair enough. Okay, and say okay, I feel like eating it, I will go ahead and do it. Okay, don't wage a mental battle that will screw you. Okay, but yes, at the same time, be aware. Okay, all right. So, when we are at food, should we take a vegan diet or a non-vegetarian diet for our requirements of proteins and all nutrients that our body would need to be, fit, or a regular vegetarian diet should be fine? Okay, so my take on this is number one, I don't think humans are meant to eat non-vegetarian food. Okay, and I can give you so many reasons for that, right? Okay. One or two reasons that are very logical and that I think would appeal to a lot of people, without even bringing in the science. Okay. Okay. Meaning, look at animals or look at carnivores. They love to tear into meat. Yep. Okay. Yeah. Do you think any human would want to tear into a live animal? Okay. That's number one. Yeah. We all love our chicken and so on. Yeah. We really want to kill that chicken and tear it apart and so on. Yeah. In fact, I believe most of the people who love non-vegetarian food can't stand looking at it being. Exactly. Absolutely. Yeah. So, if we were really meant to eat non-vegetarian food, we would have been like carnivores. Okay. Yeah. That's number one. Number two, if you look at the shape, we don't have long nails like carnivores do. Right. Okay. To tear into meat. Okay. If you look at our palm, our palm is more designed towards plucking the fruit from the tree.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. So third thing, if you look at our intestines,
Mm-hmm.
okay, um, the strength of the length of our intestinal canal is about 25 to 30 feet.
Right.
Okay, that is not long enough for digesting meat.
Oh.
Okay, so I can, for those who want to discuss this, I can send them reading material on this. Okay, but surely you should, they can read about this naturopath called Louis Kuhne, a German fellow, a very famous naturopath. I can photocopy things from his book and send them to people who want to read about this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so surely non-vegetarian food is not meant for us. Okay, the fourth reason why I don't think non-veg food is good for us is non-veg food is a high protein diet.
But we need protein.
Yeah, a high protein diet
Mm-hmm.
creates a lot of uric acid in the body.
Okay.
Okay, so all those people with diabetes, all those people with kidney related problems, all those people with high blood pressure surely should not eat non-vegetarian food.
Mm.
Okay, yeah. Now coming to proteins, um, let me, sure enough, we need proteins. I don't deny that. Okay, but what I often tell people is mother's milk has 3% protein. Okay, imagine a food that is powerful enough to nurture a new life contains only 3% protein.
Correct.
Right? Okay, so and if at all you want to take protein, then sprouted moong mort soya bean is possibly the best protein that you can take. The dal that we have at home
Mm-hmm.
creates so much of waste in the body. Right? First of all, we make it in a pressure cooker.
Right.
Okay,
Mm.
which is not good. Secondly, when we make the dal, which is what used to happen in the yesteryears, the froth that would come up on top, we used to take that out,
Right.
which doesn't happen anymore.
Right.
Right? So because of all of these reasons, I don't think anybody should be having dal.
Oh.
Okay, if a good source of protein would be sprouted moong or soya bean or sprouted chana, or in the process of sprouting any protein, a lot of the carbohydrate and the fat and that protein gets converted into minerals and vitamins.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, which makes it that much easier for the body to digest. In fact, even wheat, like the wheat that I have, I sprout that first. Of course, it's a lot of, it's a bit of work. Okay, but in the process of that sprouting, a lot of the carbohydrate and the gluten gets converted into minerals and vitamins. So not only is it, meaning my guru says that sprouted wheat is 500 times more healthy than unsprouted wheat. Okay, so so yes, if you want to have protein, sprout it first, meaning which is what I would say.
Oh, wow. So then, I mean, I am all like mixed up now. Do you want to give us a good ready reckoner how I should begin my day? What kind of breakfast I should have? What kind of lunch, and then followed by dinner? Or can I have some juices in between? Or what are the kind of uh, fast food items which can go along with my diet? Once in a while, a burger can do.
Okay, so first thing that I would want to say is have food in a form that is as close to how nature gives it to us. Okay, so nature packs things the best. Okay, the more you intervene into it, the more you process food, the more you are reducing the quality of that food product.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So for example, from wheat, we get dalia. If you process dalia further, you get atta. If you process atta further, you get suji, and then after suji, you get maida. Right? So with that logic, the most healthy wheat product would be dalia.
Right.
So have vegetable dalia. Okay. Yeah. If not that, have roti. Okay. Now again, the problem with roti is a lot of people throw away the fiber.
Right.
Right. Okay. Something that I was going to come to is when you say what kind of food, I would say have food that is fibrous. If I were to make a very general statement. Okay. If you look at most diseases, most diseases happen because we don't take adequate fiber in our food. Okay. Meaning, what is maida? Maida is the gehu without the fiber. Right. Those who have maida, meaning those who have diabetes, should immediately stop taking all maida, because processed wheat or maida will immediately spike up your blood sugar. Okay, so have food that has plenty of fiber in it.
All right.
Okay.
Does that mean salads and fruits along with? So I can mix up everything with my food, or fruits should be in the morning and salads in the afternoon, or?
Okay, so our body needs different elements to digest different sorts of food. Right. So, for example, just to give you one example, protein gets the process of digestion of protein begins only when that protein food reaches the stomach and the HCl in the stomach starts acting upon that protein.
Right.
Okay. However, carbohydrates, the process of digestion of carbohydrate begins the moment we put it into our mouth. There is an enzyme called amylase.
Right.
Okay, which is present in our saliva. So amylase begins the process of digestion of carbohydrates. And in fact, this is the reason why people say chew your food properly. Because if your food does not have sufficient amounts of amylase in it, then it does not present itself for easy digestion. Right? And this is why, like for example, in Bengali they say jol khabo. Okay? Yeah. So I often tell people, drink water as if you're eating food, and eat food as if you're drinking water. Yeah. You should not gulp down your food until and unless it is as good as juice. And you should drink water absolutely slowly, sip by sip. These days I see that I've been told of this machine that makes water alkaline.
Oh, is it?
Okay. Now these are all fads that meaning capitalism cannot survive until unless it keeps generating needs. Right? I can assure you that there is nothing better than having water from a matka.
Right.
To convert water, to make water more alkaline. Number one. Okay. Number two, have water very slowly and swirl it into your mouth so that it mixes with your saliva. That has a lot of alkaline content. And so that water then becomes medicinal water. Yeah.
But it will then take too much time for me to even drink water.
Absolutely, it will. Absolutely.
I don't have that kind of time in my life.
We have time for everything. It's again that the 80-20 principle. 80% of the time we are doing all nonsensical stuff. Yeah. So surely, meaning what I keep telling people is, look, nature cure is not like popping a pill into your mouth. Okay, it requires some work. It requires some sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
But having said so, I can assure you it works. It is not like allopathy where, where you're on drugs for like 20 years. Okay. And it works really quick. Like I told you, this guy with diabetes was fine within 30 to 45 days, which is when he did only about half of what I'd asked him to do. Okay. It works really quick, but it does demand a lot of discipline.
I want to follow all this, Gautam, but I travel a lot, and I think it's very hard to even maintain. When I go to the field at 5 or 6 in the morning, and after a couple of hours when I'm back, I'm all exhausted. I definitely want to have a glass of juice before I can even start my breakfast. So, what precautions or what mechanisms can I be mindful of, so that I can try to, let's begin with attempting, I would say. I can attempt following the naturopathy diet.
Okay. Now, the first thing that I would advise people, okay, is this.
What?
Okay. Do not drink water from plastic water bottles, for God's sake.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Having things that are cold or having things that are hot in a plastic container is the cause for cancer.
Mm-hmm.
So please don't do that. A copper jar is extremely good for your health. Those who are, those who have stomach ailments, those who have eye problems. My mom, by the way, 6 months back was told by her eye doctor that she had begun to develop cataract in her eyes.
Okay.
A month back, when she, after doing whatever treatment I asked her to do,
okay,
a month back she visited him, and that guy was like shocked. He's like, dude, I'm going out of business.
Okay.
Okay. He was like, your eyes are perfect now.
Okay.
Okay. And all that I gave my mom was sun-charged water. Okay. Which she would splash into her eyes every morning.
Okay.
Okay. Anyways, so first thing that you can do is always carry a copper bottle with you. Yeah. If not copper, then carry a steel bottle, but surely not a plastic bottle. That's number one that I would want to tell you. Okay. Number two, let me show you something that I always carry with me,
Mm-hmm.
which is this. Oh, can you see this?
Yeah. We can.
Jaggery.
Okay.
Okay. Jaggery is an extremely good form of sugar.
Uh-huh.
Okay. It gives you instant energy.
Right.
Okay. So if ever I'm feeling weak or I'm feeling hungry, I just pop in some jaggery and I'm fine after that. Okay. Another thing that I always carry with me is this. Can you see what it is?
Yeah.
Dates.
Dates. Okay.
Dates are, meaning they are an intensive energy snack. They have energy packed in them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And they are extremely healthy. A very rich source of iron and so many minerals and vitamins.
Right.
Okay. I also, whenever I'm traveling, I also carry a lot of fruits with me. And I also carry something, bhungre. Do you know what bhungre is? It's a form of chana.
Okay.
Now, chana being a protein,
mm-hmm.
that will keep you full for at least 3 to 4 hours.
Okay.
Okay. So, a lot of people have also posed this question to me that, we travel a lot and, we are forced to eat. So I don't see any reason why we need to eat all the junk that is given to us while we are traveling. the problem is, even if we eat roti sabzi in the market, okay, the atta that they use has no fiber in it. That atta is as good as maida. It's possibly one step better than, one step above maida. Okay, and because of that, all that roti made from such atta will only go and stick to your stomach and your intestinal walls. Okay, so of course, meaning it's better than having burgers and so on. Yeah, but from my experience, I can tell you, banana is a very high energy fruit. Okay, apples are very filling. Okay, dates are very filling. Jaggery is very, honey is something that gives you instant energy. And I can assure you, meaning I've gone without eating for 90 days. Okay, from that experience, I can tell you, honey gives you energy within 5 minutes. Okay, and people ask me, how much honey should I have?
Yes.
And I tell them, if you're hungry, have 5 spoons. Okay, honey will never harm you. Right? And thanks to bees, honey is one food that is already digested by bees and given to us. Okay, and in the process of digestion, they add a lot of alkaline material to honey. And that is why honey will give you energy immediately. It is very good for curing diseases and so on. Yeah. The only thing that we need to be careful with about honey is we should not heat honey, or we should not add it to water or milk that is hot.
But lukewarm is okay?
Lukewarm is fine. Yeah. So, meaning fruits, chana, sprouted moongmot, kishmish, dates, bananas, jaggery, honey. If you carry all of this, I don't see any reason why we should eat all the trash that is given to us on the roads.
Right. Wonderful. Okay. So I have this one last doubt, about all this entire thing. You've been mentioning that you've cured diabetes and you've cured chronic ailments, probably like asthma and BP. And I also heard from you some time back about some skin related ailments that you were talking about in one of our groups as well. Can you give us some tips right away? I'm sure people who would want to get a treatment from you would reach out to you separately as well. But can you give us some indicators or some things which we can start doing right away?
Okay, so in naturopathy, meaning when I decided to do my course, and I was told by Arogya Mandir in Gorakhpur, which is where I'm doing my course from. When they told me that we'll send you 37 books to read, and then you come and do 2 months of training here, and then you're a doctor.
Okay.
And I was like, dude, man, these guys sound to be a fraud to me. People do MBBS for 4 years, and here they are telling me that bloody make me a doctor in 2 months. Okay. And then finally, I read Louis Kuhne's book, The Science of, I think it's called The Science of Natural Healing or The Science of Healing or something like that. Okay. So Louis Kuhne, in his book, he says that there is only one disease. Okay. And therefore, there is only one cure. It's as simple as that. Okay. The only disease is accumulation of toxic waste in the body, right? And therefore, the only cure is to get rid of toxic waste from the body, right? If you can do that, I think you're good to go, right? So, meaning, why is it that people have high blood pressure, right? It's simply because you have toxic waste that is stuck into your arteries, right? And when your arteries get clogged with, with toxic waste, in order to ensure that your organs are adequately supplied with blood, the heart increases the pace at which it pumps.
Right.
Right? So if you want to cure high blood pressure, all you've got to do is, by taking those drugs, what those drugs are basically blood thinners.
Right.
What they do is they thin your blood so that they can pass through even a clogged artery, right? Which I feel is foolish.
But that's not the solution to the problem.
Exactly. If you can get rid of that toxic waste that's accumulated in your arteries, okay, then by itself the heart will reduce the pace at which it pumps.
Right.
Yeah. So I would say that getting rid of toxic waste in the body is the number one thing that you need to do. And to do that, you need to eat fibrous food. Fibers are the ones that carry toxic waste along with them on their way to the intestines and finally to the rectum and then the anus and then in the form, and then they exit the body in the form of our stool. Right? So very important that we have adequate fiber in our food, which means we take a lot of salads, we take a lot of fruits, we take a lot of vegetables, we eat grains where we don't throw away the fiber. We don't eat things like burgers, pizzas, biscuits, confectionery, chocolates, samosa, kachori, chai, coffee. And a lot of people tell me, says, dude, man, I think we'd rather stop living than start doing all of this, right? So there are very good substitutes for all of this, okay? Meaning I love my kada. I have kada almost every day, okay? Which is as good as a tea or coffee, okay? I have a lot of dates and jaggery, which is my substitute for all the mithais that I used to eat.
Oh.
Yeah. I love honey, man. I have anywhere between 3 to 4 spoons of honey every day. Yeah. So, and the other thing that I would want to say is, which I've already mentioned, is take food in a form which is as close to nature as possible.
Right. So I think I'm going to sign up for your one of your sessions so that at least you can give me a little more tips on how can I lose weight. But tell me, what should I begin with if I want to? I have been doing a lot of things, but it just doesn't seem to work on me. And I just end up, cheating on my diet. I also have a diet plan. I have, I have, a list of things that I should and should not, but I end up cheating. So how do I fix myself?
Okay, so the first thing is you don't need to feel bad about the fact that you're cheating.
I don't feel. That's why I keep on repeating it.
Great. Okay. So, like in Vipassana, they always tell us accept the truth as it manifests in the present moment.
Okay.
Okay. So, yes, I am fat. Let me accept it. Not a problem. Okay. I do eat biscuits and chocolates and ice cream and so on. Let me accept it. Okay. So that's the first thing that you need to do is be comfortable with yourself. Okay. Okay, I'm doing it. I shouldn't be doing it, but I don't need to wage a mental battle for all of that. Okay. Now, a few things that you can start doing right away. Okay. Number one, take Nimbu and Shahad in the morning.
Okay.
Okay. And again, as I said, either in plain or in lukewarm water. Okay. Not very hot water. Okay. Both Nimbu and Shahad, and more specifically, this combination will cut fat significantly.
Okay.
Okay. Number two, sit straight. All of us have this habit of sitting hunchback like this. Okay. Right. When we sit straight, it pulls your stomach. It pulls your backbone.
Right.
Okay. This itself will reduce fat. Okay. Number three, um, have a diet which is richer in fiber.
Right.
Okay. So increase intake of fruits, salads, and vegetables.
Okay.
Reduce carbohydrate, fat, and protein.
Okay.
Okay. And especially reduce or eliminate consumption of processed food. Right? Now, people tell me, says, "Oh, you're so thin." And I say, look, I am a Rajasthani. I love to dip my body in ghee before I have it.
Right.
Okay, meaning I don't achieve peace and solace if I've not, if my body is not had a shower in ghee, then sorry, man, that is not body. Okay, so I love my ghee. People say coconut oil is saturated oil. Okay, or saturated fat. Yeah, that's all nonsense.
Okay.
Okay. Even in fat, there is something called LC, low chain triglycerides and medium chain triglycerides and so on. Okay, so coconut oil will never ever give you fat. The problem is when we use coconut oil to deep fry foods, that is when it starts harming you. And especially, coconut oil has a low smoke point. Okay, coconut oil is healthy only if you heat it up till 177 degrees. Beyond that, it starts harming you.
So then, in fact, avoid fried completely, or I can.
I would say so. I would say so, and meaning once in a while it's okay. Meaning I love to have my pakoras during a rainy season. Yeah, it's rained outside. I love to have my halwa and my pakora and so on. But dude, that should not become the norm. Yeah, that can be an exception. Okay, the problem is when we make all of this the norm. Yeah, so just to recap, nimbu and shed in the morning, fruits for breakfast, meaning when we've just woken up,
right?
Our digestive fire is very weak. Okay, we should not have, of course, people working at Kellogg's would hate me for saying this, but why should I want, one, cornflakes is processed food. Why would I want to eat processed food? Number two, that's carbohydrate. You should surely not have carbohydrate early in the morning.
Okay.
Meaning your digestive, it's like you've just woken up and I ask you, dude, get up, go for a 15-kilometer run.
Right.
Yeah. Meaning, for God's sake, I've just woken up. I need to kind of, brush my teeth, relax for a while. And then once I feel that my body is now in motion,
right,
can I go for a long run? Right. So the best food for breakfast is fruits. Okay. And as I say, avoid mixing foods. The body gets confused when we have too many things at the same time. So the best diet is to have one fruit at a time.
One fruit at a time.
One fruit at one time. If you find that very boring, right, which I do at times, okay, then surely do not mix sweet and sour fruits. Okay. So it is okay to have chiku with kela, or it is okay to have chiku with kela with papaya.
Okay.
But surely I should not be having, let's say, bananas with mangoes.
Oh.
Or bananas with oranges.
Right.
Okay. Right? Okay. So that should be avoided.
Similar temperament friends should be put together.
Absolutely. That's a good way to put it.
Okay. All right.
And I can assure you, nobody can be fat having ghee and having a lot of oil. Yeah, that is all bunkum. That is all nonsense. Okay, meaning as a Rajasthani, I take a lot of ghee, especially during the winters. Man, you should see the amount of ghee that we have. At times, in fact, at times my lunch is bajre ki roti with gur and ghee, and we love it.
Right.
Yeah.
Even I
So,
love it.
meaning I don't see how people can grow fat with ghee.
Hmm.
Okay. The problem arises when we process food. The problem arises when we want to have a lot of badam and pista and a lot of ghee without adequate exercise.
Okay.
Yeah. The problem arises when we've just had roti and then an hour later we want to have samosa. You know, our pancreas, the process of digestion happens when pancreas release pancreatic juice.
Correct.
Now, pancreas do not release juices every now and then.
Okay.
Right? So when we eat very often, okay, then because pancreas do not release pancreatic juices, all that food rots in the body.
Oh.
So ideal gap, if you've had protein food, is anywhere between 6 to 7 hours.
Right.
If you've had carbohydrates, a minimum of 4 to 5 hours. If you had fruits, let's say about 2 to 3 hours. Yeah. So have adequate gap. So just to give you an idea, I had my lunch at 11.
Okay.
Okay.
Have some water.
So, so just to give you on how I've been through the day today.
Okay.
So I had 2 glasses of nimbu and shahad in the morning,
Okay.
which is around 6 a.m. Then at around 8 a.m., I had 1 banana with a spoon of honey.
Mm-hmm.
I had 1 anji, which is fake, and I had 2 dates. Okay. Then at 11, I had food, which was 2 rotis. Again, I would always recommend millets in place of wheat.
Okay.
So bajra, ragi, makka, jaw, jawar is what I would recommend in place of wheat. So I had a roti made with jaw. I had lauki. I had lots of salads. And I take, these days you have green leaves that grow in the wild.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What people do not even know is things like sati and puhar, which we say ki ye jhad phus hai. They are used in Ayurvedic medicines.
Acha.
Right? So I have sati, I have puhar, I have podina, I have ajwain, I have neem patta, and I have bhui amla. Bhui amla is one herb that is ramban for liver regeneration.
Acha.
In fact, bhui amla is also known as stone breaker and shatter stone. So if somebody has kidney stone or gallbladder stone, bhui amla is very healthy for them.
So any other name for this bhui amla?
I know that there are a few other names I cannot recollect. If you Google shatter stone and you Google stone breaker, it should give you the other names.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So even ajwain, for that matter, ajwain is also known to be very effective for kidney stones. Yeah. Podina is something that is extremely good for your digestion. People who have acidity issues should take a lot of podina.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that is at 11 o'clock. And of course, I also take a lot of kheera, tomato, and onions with my food. Okay. Then, so it's almost 3 o'clock now. So it's been about 4 hours since I had lunch. Possibly around 3:30 or 4, I'll have 1 anar. Okay. It's always preferable to have a juicy fruit in between your meals. Okay? And then around 6:30, I will have my dinner. Okay? It's always preferable to have at least a 3-hour gap between your dinner and the time that you sleep. I like to sleep early. I sleep around 9 p.m. Yeah. So I like to have my dinner around 6:30 so that I'm done with dinner by about 7:15. So that I have roughly about 2.5 hours to 3-hour gap between the time that I sleep. Yeah. So to me, this is ideal diet. Also, you could possibly have some jeera, some raw jeera after your meals. Raw jeera. Raw jeera is a very good appetizer. Yeah. So, and of course, meaning those who are, there are a whole lot of things that you can do, but all that I'm saying is, for example, I also invest in stock markets. In stock markets, we have this mantra called KISS, which is keep it simple, stupid. Okay. So let's not get into the protein and the carbohydrate and what should I eat and let's not complicate things. If I can simplify things, eat food in the form as close to what nature gives you. Keep adequate gap between your meals. Have as much water as you can. Drink water slowly. Eat water slowly. I think if you can stick to these basics, keep adequate gap between what you eat and the time that you sleep. I see a lot of people have dal in the evening. Okay, that is the worst thing that you can do for your health. Yeah, as I said, proteins need at least 6 hours for digestion. Right? If you're having dal for dinner and then sleeping off, you're asking for trouble.
Ouch.
Yeah. So, meaning anything like dal, rajma, chana, they are heavy foods. Yeah. Meaning when I have these things, meaning it's like lunch at 11 and then dinner at 7. I don't take anything in between. Possibly maybe a juicy fruit in between. That's it. I cannot dream of taking anything else. Yeah, because they are heavy foods. They need time for for the body to break them down. So yeah, I believe if you stick to these basics, you don't need to complicate things. Yeah. Yeah, and I've already told you what you can eat when you're traveling.
Right.
Yeah. We don't need to eat all the junk that we get in restaurants and hotels and so on. And even there, there's a lot of stuff that they give you that you can eat. So, for example, when I go out with family to restaurants, and they insist that you cannot not eat with us and so on. Yeah, I said, okay, I will have roti and dahi, or I will have roti and raita.
Okay.
Yeah? Now I know that the roti that they have to offer me is not good because it's been made with maida. It's been made with atta where all fiber has been taken out.
Correct.
So I know that roti is not good.
Correct.
Okay, but surely that is the best option that I have. Yeah. So I have roti and raita or roti and dahi. Yeah. So and I also ask for a plate of salads. Okay. So even when we go out, you can surely find food that is relatively healthier. Yeah. So Richie, let me put it this way. Options are always there. But let me put it this way. I always tell people that you can fool the world, but you cannot fool yourself. Yeah. You can tell people that, oh, I travel a lot, and so I do not have access to healthy food and so on.
Correct.
Yeah. But let me tell you, the options are always there. Okay. It's just that we don't want to exercise that option. And something that I would want to tell everyone is the stepping stone to success is accepting your failures. And so meaning not that I don't, I don't eat junk food. I mean, of course, it's been 15 years since I've had a Pepsi or a Coke or a burger or a pizza. Okay. Yeah, about 15, 20 years.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
But there are times when I have that odd mithai. Okay. Yeah. So let's accept the fact that we are doing this willingly. Let me not fool myself that I've been forced to do this. Okay. The moment you start doing that, I think it opens up an entire world to yourself. You start accepting the fact that yes, there are options. Whether I exercise that option or not is completely upon me. Yeah, so meaning I feel that maintaining good health is very simple, but not easy. Yeah, it does take a little bit of work.
Because we have so much glamour around us these days that it becomes difficult. Otherwise, it is not very difficult.
Yeah, absolutely. So, for example, when I go for weddings, yeah, and I see badam ka halwa over there.
Right.
Yeah. It's like, wow, halwa here. Okay. So, but let's do all of that willingly. Let me not say that I did not have anything else to eat. Okay. Surely there was raita over there. Surely there was salads over there. Yeah. Let me not fool myself. Okay. Let me say, okay, fair enough. I've been on a very good diet for the last 1 month. Okay. Let me indulge myself today.
Okay.
And Richie's one last thing that I would want to say is no harm eating that halwa. The harm arises when you start eating more than what your body wants. Okay. There is this anecdote of Krishna. Arjun once asked Krishna, "Ki zehar kya hai?"
Acha.
So Krishna said, "Ki har wo cheez जो जरूरत से ज्यादा है वो जहर है." So for instance, we say water is the elixir of life.
Right.
Right? But excess of water is what we call floods.
Right.
Right? Okay. Fire is extremely essential for us to survive on this planet. But if we go too close to fire, it can burn us.
Right.
Right? Likewise, food it sustains us. But eating excessive food becomes poisonous for the body. Yeah.
Correct.
So, meaning no harm eating that odd halwa, but don't eat it more than what you need. Yeah. Many a times when I go for weddings, all I have is halwa. Okay. I say, okay, I'm not going to eat anything today. And I'm going to indulge myself. Yeah. Okay. But meaning for God's sake, man, the world is not going to stop turning tomorrow. Yeah. You can also have halwa tomorrow. Right? So stop once your stomach says, okay, I've had enough. Yeah. So that is very important. And I believe that comes from yoga, pranayama, and vipassana. Because that gives you a lot of control over your body. Yeah. And that doctor sitting inside your body will tell you when it's time to stop. Yeah. When we force feed, and this is for our children, do not ever force feed your children. If your child says that he or she is not hungry, do not tell him or her that you've not had anything for the last 12 hours and so you must eat food. Meaning hunger is the most basic instinct. A child who's 1 hour old indicates to his or her mother that he or she is hungry.
Right.
Right? When we force feed or when we overeat, our bodies stops indicating when it wants food. And that is when we keep eating again and again and again. Right? It's been 4 hours now since I've had lunch. I'm not feeling as if I'm hungry or something. Right? Maybe an hour later I'll have a fruit. Yeah. But that happens only when we eat, only when we are hungry and we don't overeat. Yeah. So I feel that, these small little mantras, and I think that we are good.
All right. So I think I have so many takeaways from this session today, but I think the most important ones, if I may just quickly summarize, Gautam, would be one, that I need to be as close to nature in terms of eating as much as possible. The second is that I need not feel guilty about what I am or what I am eating. I need to accept myself as I am so that my body remains happy. And I have to listen to my inner doctor. The third most important thing I want to take away from today's session is that I do not want to indulge into eating unnecessarily, only eat as much as my body needs, because food in excess can be harmful, very, very harmful. And I think the last most important point that I want to take away from here is that absolutely everything that's going on, right or wrong, with your body, which you do not like, can be fixed. And if I want further details on some of those things, I will come back to you and take a session with you so that I can, get fixed soon, right?
Sure, you're most welcome.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Gautam.
See, I also work with a few patients. In fact, I am looking for more patients.
Okay.
Because I feel it is so easy to cure all of this.
Right.
Right? And I feel it's so painful for me to see people struggle with these things for years.
Right.
Right? So I am looking at working with patients.
Cool. Of course. And I am absolutely confident now, Gautam, that anybody who probably gets in touch with you and you work with them, naturopathy is going to take them to the next level, and their health make their health in a much better shape. So good luck to you. And we are looking forward to having more discussions with you and doing a yoga session with you too.
Sure. Most welcome. I'd be delighted.
Thank you, Gautam. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Richie.